Gyronix.
Okay, so for this lecture, we'll be discussing the for loop. So this is another iteration statement. And this is the syntax for the for loop. So we have that keyword for. So we have three statements: the initialization, condition, the increase, or that is the increment, and it can be also decrement. So in either way, and the of course the statement inside the body of the for loop. So the same concept, since this is a looping statement, it will repeat the statement while the condition is true. So this one, whatever condition you have here in the second statement, while that is true, it will of course loop through the body of the for loop. And if the condition is no longer true, so the loop ends. So typical looping statement. And now we will compare the structure between the while loop and the for loop. So we have here simple code. This is what we have used in our while loop exercise. So you're familiar with this one. It will display 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then the word or the string left off. So this is using while loop. We can achieve the same output but using for loop. So this is the structure of the for loop. And now we will analyze the structure of the while and the for loop. So in the while loop, we have this declaration of the integer, okay, of the variable n, which is equals to 10. That is the initial value. So hence, that is the initialization. So the equivalent structure in the for loop is this one. So that is the first statement. So you declare a variable, then you have the initial value. Okay? Next is the condition. For the while loop, we have this one. N is greater than 0, while n is greater than 0. In the while loop, that is the second statement. So that's the placement of the condition. Okay, so you can see now the structure. Okay, and of course we have this one, the decrement. In the for loop, that is the last statement. So again, it can be either increment or decrement. So it depends on what you wanted to achieve in the program. Okay. And one thing to note, if you are using a for loop, so this one, this declaration or this initialization, we declare n as integer with the initial value of 10. Take note of this. This n is only local for the for loop. So what do we mean local? Which means it's only known in the body of the for loop. So between this open brace and closing brace. But outside this for loop, n is not known or it's not declared. Such that if, for example, you wanted to output the value n, let's say you have this statement, cout n, you will have an error. Something like n was not declared. Which means the program doesn't know what data type n is. Okay? So, again, this n and this n are not equal. This is only local to this for loop. Okay, so to remove this error, you can either declare, okay, this n, let's say integer equals 5. And it will output 5, not this 10, 9, 8, 7. So this one is global to the program, this one is local. Okay, so take note of that. And for the laboratory exercise, okay, so to understand further the application of the for loop, so kindly check this prime number checker app. Okay, so see you there.